I started playing when I was 11 years old. My grandfather was a professor of music at the Royal Academy. My grandfather's brother, he was a drummer. My father was a piano player. My younger brother is a professional drummer. Lots of musicians in the family. The great-great-grandmother was a classical guitar player. And there's been musicians in the family for like nearly 4 generations now. So we go back a long time. Too many drummers, few violin players, few accordion players and this kind of thing, but too many drummers. And I was born in Birmingham, which is the centre of England, the Midlands, a bit like, probably similar to places like Detroit in America, very industrialised. So it's a very good place to be brought up because there's lots of music, and lots of places to play, lots of opportunities to gain experience, which is very important. So at an early age, I was already playing in pubs by the time I was 12. And we'd have to get special permission, a certificate from the local council, and for me to appear. But my dad had to be with me all the time, and I mustn't leave the stage, can't go to the bar for a drink, you know, only lemonade, all that type of thing. And so I did that for quite a while, and I just went on from there. And by the time I left school at 15, I had an audition to be in a group in London. And I called up and said, yes, I'd like to come down and play. So I left school on the Friday, left home on the Sunday, travelled down to London, about 120 miles. And this was on the Sunday. And on the Wednesday, I had my audition, I passed. And on the Friday, I think I was in Germany playing. And that was the beginning of my professional career. So I had my 16th birthday, I can't remember where, I think it was in London. And it was a singer called Chris Farlow and the Thunderbirds, a great group, soul singer. He had like a #1 single written by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards had written this single called Out of Time, and it had done incredibly well and went to #1. And anyway, I was in his backing group, and I stayed there for about 12 months. So that was my sort of introduction to professional sort of playing. And then I carried on going to you know, to have lessons with James Blades from the Royal Academy of Music, Gilbert Webster, the Guildhall. I think I probably had altogether Tommy Cunliffe, Lionel Rubin, Max Abrams, James Blades, Gilbert Webster. I probably had about 5 teachers through my career. And of course, now I kind of know enough to be able to teach myself. So I've had quite a good education musically. And the object really was to be in an orchestra. That's what my parents wanted me to do because they thought it was a safe job. And they didn't want me to be in a rock band, but the minute I played in a group when I was about 14 years old, the first group I played in was called the King Bees. The minute I heard the Vox amplifiers turned right up loud, I thought, this is for me. I've got to do this. And I've walked down that path ever since. So that's basically the story of, and then I'm here today with you.
So, if you are talking about your classical education and your classical roots,
yes.
Now you are more rock
yes.
drummer.
I've only ever been a rock drummer, really, you know. I mean, I played in the London Symphony Orchestra. A friend of mine, Michael Fry, was the head percussionist there. I played there a couple of times. It's not for me, you know. I just did it for interest. I'm very interested in percussion. But basically, I've never wanted to be a jazz drummer or a big band drummer. Though I play in some of this style, I really am a rock drummer. You know, at the end of the day, I'm a rock drummer that likes to play classical music in a rock style. So this is perfect for me. And Emerson, Lake and Palmer was absolutely spot on for me, you know, because we played classical adaptations. So, yeah, that's really what I'm all about.
Even though there were so long time.
Yeah.
Still, this music is...
I think the music will live on forever because they're great composers. They're Mussorgsky, they're Bartok, you know, they're Bach. So Aaron Copland, people like this. I mean, the Rodeo Suite, people will listen until the world ends.
But you are playing this music a little bit different.
Yes.
Than they were completely...
Yes, but I think that's good because it introduces young people to classical music through rock music. So I like it. So it's not educating them. What it's really doing is kind of entertaining them, and then they start to wonder, who is Aaron Copland? and then they maybe listen to the whole of the Rodeo Suite. So for me, it's always been a great thing for me. I've always enjoyed that. And where we are today, my band's an instrumental band, as you can tell. And for me, there's no hiding. When there's 3 people, everybody's got to play really well. Somebody makes a mistake, oh, it stands out. Everybody knows. And when you play this music, which is complicated, it's involved. It takes a lot of rehearsal to get it to sound tight and to get it to sound big, because there's only 3. You know, we're not an orchestra. So it's a challenge, and it's something that I just really enjoy. I just really enjoy.
Did you ever thought whom you will be if you will be not a drummer?
I'd never wanted to be anything else. When my father took me to see a film called Drum Crazy, and in actual fact, the title in America was The Gene Krupa Story. And as you know, Gene Krupa came from a Polish background. He took me to see this film, and it was on a Sunday afternoon about 5 o'clock, and I was with my dad. He said, let's go and see this film. So it was just me and him. Off we went to the cinema. And I came out, and I'm walking back to the car with him, and I said, Dad, I want to do that. That's what I want. And he said, are you sure? I said, I think I'm positive. It's just, I want to do that. And of course, I've done it ever since. There was one of those moments, we call it in English now a light bulb moment. Something went on and I thought, yes, you know. I liked everything about it. So that was it, really, yeah.
You find it really...
I think if I hadn't have been a drummer, I'd probably gone into my father's businesses, because we had 3 shops, you know, 2 proper shops, and something was like a kiosk type of thing. But I tried it, you know. I used to work on Saturdays for him, and he used to pay me some money, but I didn't really like it, you know. And music came along, and I heard, the first album I heard was called Time Out by Dave Brubeck. And this was one of the biggest selling jazz albums of all time. I think it was the first jazz album to sell just over 1 million copies. And I started hearing things like this. My grandfather's playing Mussorgsky, and I just want to be involved. How do I do this? And then I realized I wanted to be a rock drummer. That was a big problem for my family, because they said, this is not serious. I said, but I'll play serious. I'll be very serious, but it will be rock music. And here I am, you know, all these years later.
The last question is, what is Drumfest for you?
For me, it's been a funny experience, because I've come to Drumfest and I've done a masterclass, and I've done a talk, and then I've done like a drum clinic, and then I came back with my own group, and there was a development. The Drumfest kept getting bigger and bigger, and I really enjoyed playing with my own band. When I very first formed it in 2000, it was something for me quite special. I think it's really good when you have so many great musicians, great drummers, teaching. But for the people, at the end of the day, they should see the drummer in the situation that he's going to be in. Yes, we can all play on the pad for an hour, and we can talk about problems and how you do it, but it's the final thing. The Drumfest really offers everything, from the beginner to the professional, from the masterclass to the drum clinic to the stage performance, and this is complete. So when you have something that's complete with the variety of players that come here, and this is probably, if not the biggest in the world, is one of the most well-known. It's been going really, really a long, long time. So it means quite a lot, you know, on the drum calendar that all drummers look at. It's obviously very important. And I think I've been here 3 times now, so I'm very, 4. I've been here 4, so I'm very happy for that. And of course, to come back with the band I've got now, which is the best band I've ever had, great, great musicians. I think it's really good for young drummers to see that, you know, if you play with great musicians, you improve yourself as a drummer or as a guitar player or as a... So it's very important. So this is just the final link in the chain, you know, to becoming a good musician. So for me, it's been a great experience, you know, and I've really enjoyed it. Thank you. No, thank you, Wojtek.